Okay, picked up these little girls. These are some buff Orpingtons. Picked them up, man, it's probably 3 weeks ago, maybe coming up on 4. They might be a month old, but they're getting big. Yeah. Come here, girl. And they're getting to be big girls, and they jump out of their box, and their box is too small. It was fine when they were chicks, but it is time to build them a chicken coop. So let's go see the progress I've made. There's 4 of them in there. Okay, here we are in the backyard. Got a nice big backyard. The plan is that this isn't very big. This is only like 5.5 foot by gosh, I think 4 foot. Hold on, let me check real fast. Okay, yeah, it's pretty much just over 5 foot by 4 foot, so it's not going to be a real large coop. The plan is I'm probably going to have the actual coop come out to be probably right about there. Probably like a 3 foot by 4 foot, so 12 square foot of coop, and then like a little bit of a run area, and it's going to be raised so they can run underneath. But the plan is just to let them free range in the backyard during the day, and really the only time that they'll be cooped up is if we're on vacation or something like that, if you have company over or something, I don't know. So they're pretty much just going to be backyard chickens, so I don't really need a big, huge run. I've got it about 3 foot away from my house. That seems, I mean, I could have made it bigger, but I would have had to go closer to the house. The reason I'm choosing this location is that I'm going to put the nesting boxes right here, right above this planter. You know, so nesting box will sit right here, and then that way when we come out of the house, the boxes are just going to be right there, so you don't have to, in the winter or something like that, you don't have to walk around or anything. I mean, I've got space on the side of the house over here I could have put a coop at, but this will work fine. So, all right, yeah, pretty much just put these, paver bricks down. Put some gravel here underneath. Got it pretty level. I think it'll do. So this is kind of where I'm at right now. And I really don't have a for sure, a super set plan, but we're kind of just going step by step. So, all right, did a little work. Had to run to the hardware store a couple times, but kind of losing daylight. This is kind of where I've got so far. This is treated wood, so I'm probably just going to end up staining it, let it dry out here for a couple of days, for a week or two, maybe longer. Just let it dry out. But yeah, so I'm kind of debating. I still don't know what I want to do. If I want to bring like the chicken coop kind of out to here and just have it like this be the coop, and then have a ramp going down that way, and then have a gate like that, or just make this whole thing a chicken coop and then have a ramp going from inside the coop down to the outside. I still kind of don't know which I want to do. I think I'm going to go with my original plan and just have it like 3/4 of this thing be the coop, the up part, and then go like that. I still think that's going to be the way. With only 4 chickens, that should be a big enough. So, all right, well, and it's going all the way up. I'll cut those down to size. I think I'm just going to make a roof that goes all the way down and slopes that way, so to cover the whole thing. It'll probably just be the easiest way to do it. All right, I'll check back in when I got more done. Got some more work done here, so I'm gonna end up just doing like a smaller coop right there, and then this is gonna be open with the door here. But got them kind of trimmed to size. It's gonna slope obviously this way. Man, I gouged it too when I was cutting it with the circular saw. It jumped on me and got back in there, but that's all right. Maybe I'll try to fill it in with some wood filler or something. Kind of bothers me, but yeah, so should be pretty good. It's 32 inches across, and then 4 foot wide. So I ended up going 48 inches from the top to the bottom of the 2x4 right here, and that's because the exterior part of it's 48 inches tall. So it's going to be able to cover from there to there. My thinking though is that it's going to, once I put the top rails on, there's still going to be a space up there. So I'm still going to have to cut. And I kind of realized that a little bit late, but that's too late. I don't really want to make this any shorter. So that's what it's going to be. So I'll have to just kind of piece, maybe I'll just trim it out really hard up there or something. We'll be fine. So, all right, I'll check back in. Got some more work done to the chicken coop. One thing I kind of found that's probably going to work better for me is I originally had this crossmember bar going from here all the way across, and I took that down and shortened it and put it that way so that my siding is flush. Got my roofing on, or the joist for the roof. Kind of just put these kind of support sections up to you know, help with the siding and stuff. And I'll put a door right here, a swing out door. That'll be probably be a pretty big door. But I'm gonna side everything and then cut doors and stuff like that. The chicken coop will go on the other side, and I am kind of squaring it up. I haven't quite found out where I'm gonna put that, but squaring it up for the door. So yeah, so far it's been pretty good. It's been a little bit more expensive than I thought it was going to be. I'll have a total at the end to see how much I actually put into the whole thing, but yeah, it just gets expensive. But all right. Okay, so I got the floor down and I got the roof put up. One thing that I did that was just not thinking quite great was when I put this board in, I thought it looks, or I should say, when I put these kind of runners right here, and I knew I was gonna, you know, use that for siding and stapling the chicken wire on. I didn't put it flush with this board right here, and I should have. So what I'm gonna have to do now is move this board over until it's, you see, until it's flush right there, because when I go to put the siding on, it's gonna leave a gap right there, and I'm not gonna have anything to screw the siding on that way. And it's not wide enough. I would just chunk another board on there, but it's just not wide enough. Not enough space. I'm gonna have to just unscrew these and move it over. It's gonna leave a gap right here too on the flooring, so I'm gonna have to just strip. Which I have a table saw inside, so that won't be a big deal. I'll just strip it, and it'll just be a crease right here. But I'm gonna put laminate flooring on it, so you won't be able to see that. But yeah, it's just one of those things you don't really think about at the time. I don't do a whole lot of building projects, so yeah. So yeah, just something to think about. Just kind of think ahead of your siding and stuff like that. I did kind of the same thing here too. You know, I caught this one in time, so my siding can go flush against this, and it's flush all the way. So, and some more work on the old coop here. Made a couple mistakes as well. So this is going to be the side that the nesting box is at. My original plan was just to, and I don't know, it still might be. I haven't 100% decided. My original plan was to, you know, you put up your siding and then make your nesting box and cut it out and then put the nesting box inside, instead of making the nesting box and having to side around it. But then what I might do is make the nesting box I want to have 2 nesting boxes, and that's pretty much going to take up the whole side. So it's kind of, I don't really know how I'm going to do it. I might end up just cutting it in half, or at the top right here, making the nesting box come out and then side around, and then do that. I don't really exactly know how I'm going to solve that problem, and then I did this too, and I knew I was going to, I made a mental note not to do it, to put up the chicken wire or the hardware cloth before you put your siding up, so that it goes underneath. And of course I didn't do that. I get ahead of myself and started siding it. So now I got to go back through and gingerly put up hardware cloth, and it's not going to be exactly what I wanted. But on this side, I had to get hardware cloth on the bottom. Got that up. And this is going to be the side that I clean it out of. Here's another thing I didn't do quite right. When I was kind of measuring for the top, how far over to get, I kind of thought, well, that's a good overhang, that's a good lip. Not taking into account that your siding's going to hang over this part, not this part. So that's okay. When I put my the roof on it, you put like a little drip edge on here that kind of, it's like a 90-degree elbow that gets over, so it'll kind of cover this whole seam. So that's fine. I wish it would have been, another inch or two out at least, but that's fine. This backside's fine. There's not going to be anything in here. I did kind of just I'm going to leave this gap right here just so that air can always get out. So this is just going to be just like that. I'm not even going to put any cloth up here or anything, hardware cloth, so it should work out. I haven't put the roof on it yet, but I did get hardware cloth on the bottom, and I'm going to wait to do this, to put the front up, this front piece, until I can get the chicken coop figured out, because I gotta still get in here and, I don't know, nail it somehow. So I still gotta figure that out. I don't know. I've only got 4 chickens, so I don't know. I want more than 1 box though. Even though there's only 4 chickens, if one chicken's hogging it or being broody, I want them to be able to lay in the other one. So I don't know. We'll have to see. The other option is to just to build the box. Here, let me get around here and see. The other option I'm considering is just, leaving the siding on just like that, building and this is probably what I'll do. Actually, I think this is what I'll do. Build the box, and I'll just put the box, screw it onto here, and I'll put another board going on the inside whenever I figure out how big or how tall the box is going to sit. So I'll screw the egg laying box up there, and it'll just be, a framed out portion, and then just go through and cut out a hole in the middle. So I think that's probably what I'll do. I think that'll work out better that way, and then that way I just won't bring it all the way to the edge, or I don't know. We'll figure it out. So, all right, well, we will, I'll get back to you when I have more done. Okay. I've got the rough frame kind of spec'd out here for the nesting box. Let's see here. It's about... Sorry. It's about 20 inches, I guess, long, or it'll stick 20 inches out, and it's 31 inches wide, so it's going to be more than enough room for 2 chicken coops. I'm just going to put a bottom on it and just kind of start siding it. And then on this one, I think something that's kind of important is the roof is not going to lift up. I'm actually going to have this part slide out, so that or fall out. So I have hinges on the bottom. So when you go to check it, you just flop it open like this. I'm doing that because it's going to be kind of hard to keep. I've seen other coops where it's hard to keep the rain from getting in right here because you have to have some sort of a hinge right there, and then water will run down your siding and get behind there. So I'm going to have it permanently sealed right there, and that way water can't get through there. But yeah, so that should work. Also, it'll be easier from where we're at, and you'll see once it's all done, it's just easier to get to if it's a forward opening one, and it's going to be just, you know, this whole thing is just going to open up, boop, and then latch back up. So, all right, we'll see what this looks like once it's attached to the coop. Just doing another update on the chicken coop. I got the door in. Looks good. I don't remember if I showed you with the siding on it or not, but I picked up some of this red paint. So the only main thing for anyone looking to build theirs is like right here, I forgot to put on the chicken wire underneath the siding, which would have been ideal. So I forgot to do that, and I totally was meant to do it and didn't do it. So there's that. So I just put, you know, a little piece of trim on it, and it looks okay once it's done. But the main thing that I messed up on was the roof. So it's just not wide enough. I just didn't quite think about overhang and stuff like that. So as you can see, the roof right now is totally flush with the siding for the most part. Yeah, right here. So it's flush with the siding, which is not really that great, because if you come over and look on this side, once you put the trim on here up to the edge, you know, it sticks over, and I got to trim this off, but you know, it sticks over, and then it's like, you know, I got this overhang, which would probably work. You know, you could probably, you know, it sits on the roof like that, and then it, but yeah, you don't, not ideal. And the worst part is that I ended up cutting, this is like, you know, 4 foot 48 inches, so I ended up cutting this down to like 44 inches because I thought it was going to be better, you know, and I almost left at 48, but I was like, oh, it's going to be hanging out too much, it's going to look bad, so I cut it down. And then turns out you know, exactly 4 foot would give me another 2 inches out, or another 1.5 inches or so out here, or 2 inches out here on each side. So I had to go pick up another board. So I'm going to take this roof off and put a new roof on it. But I mean, I like this part, like this overhang is good. You know, I like this amount. I like having, you know, it's about 2 inches, 1.5 inches, 2 inches, and I think that looks good. But yeah, so just little mistakes. Yeah, that's about it. I've got this, I still got to put this. I had to end up cutting it in two because I couldn't get the full piece through the door. So that's one thing. But yeah, I'm gonna do that. So I'm gonna have probably I don't know which side I'm gonna put the chicken door at. I'm gonna do like a little pulley system, so it really doesn't matter what side. I'll just kind of figure that out. I don't really know what side I think I'm gonna put the door on this side, but that'll be like the very last thing I'm gonna do. Also, as far as painting, this is actually concrete board, so this stuff just never rots, but I'll just end up painting that white. But as far as this pressure treated wood, everything I've read says, you know, to let it dry a few months, you know, because the pressure treating, it's still got moisture in there. So if you were to paint it, it's going to peel the paint right away. And some of the pieces were really wet and some felt pretty dry, but so what I think I'm gonna do, I think it looks fine, just kind of, you know, like this. So what I'll probably just end up doing, and that's another thing, is, you know, how do you paint boards once you've already put the hardware cloth over it? So that's one thing. So I think what I'll end up doing is just treating it with like a, you know, a stain or a, you know, linseed oil or something like that here, probably at the end of summer once it's really dried out, just to keep it, you know, do that every, you know, 4 or 5 years, and it should be good. I mean, it's not sitting on the ground, so it won't really rot from there. But yeah, so that's where I'm at now. So yeah, I just gonna put a new put that new roof on it, and kind of just get going from there. Well, let me show you the box. It's not screwed on yet. And this is another thing. I think I probably could have measured it a little bit better, but I think it'll be fine, but it's just not perfect. And maybe I'll show that to you once I figure out exact place for it. But I'm going to, you know, move this up a couple inches so it hangs over the edge right here, so that you just have to walk out and then there's the nesting box. But I'm not worried about that right now. I've got to get the chickens out here just because they're getting too big for their brooder right now. They should have been out 2 weeks ago, so I feel kind of bad. They're a little cramped and they're always fighting in there and stuff, but I will get the chickens in here today is my goal. And another thing is I got to make a window somehow, or I'll probably just bring a light bulb in here and just turn the light bulb on and off or something until I can get kind of like a window mocked up right here, if some sort of a slider, or I don't know. So, all right, well, we've been rambling on about nothing, so I'll get back to you when I've got more done. Okay, I've been working on this thing for about 8 hours today, and this project's taking forever. Still gotta put a little piece of trim up here. I'm gonna let this top part vent, but just a little piece of trim over here. Got the coop pretty much done. I don't really like how this has turned out. Like, I don't know, it just doesn't look great, but what are you gonna do? I just installed this thing, and of course it's catching. So I'm gonna have to go hit it from the other side and sand it down. I have not done the roof yet, so I'll have to I just painted this just because I wanted to, just in case if water got underneath here. I did caulk this and painted it, so that should be watertight. So when I go to put shingles and then a piece of trim on top, that should work. And then I'll caulk the trim at the top. But yeah, haven't done the roof on this yet. I'll probably end up painting that too. Just put a layer of paint on it before I do shingles. I have not done. That's what I'm going to do right now. I really want to get the chickens in here tonight, so if I can get this fenced and a door built, and then a little run, I can get them in tonight. But there's the whole little chicken coop run. I think I'm going to have I don't really know if there's enough room to go. It might be too steep if it goes this way. I don't know. It might be okay. Have to figure that out. Either that or I'm going to have to put it, you know, have it where maybe it sits right there and then runs that way. Runs a long way so they can climb up and then jump in. Not too sure. But then this is all latched up. And still got some. You see the chicken. I'm gonna cover those up, of course, until they start laying. But yeah, this will be their little hood in here. I don't know if I should paint in here or not. I don't think I will. I guess it probably won't do any harm or good. Assuming I don't get leaks in it, should be okay. But yeah, that's about it. I mean, this side's, I still got one piece of trim I'm seeing right here. And I think I'm gonna do one piece of trim to go along the bottom just to kind of complete the look, so. All right, next time I see you guys, it'll be completed. It should be. All right. Got it all finished for the most part. There's a few little things. Somehow when I was painting the trim, I forgot to paint that. But yeah, so we got it all on. I went and got this roof. I'm not exactly sure how to butt it up. I mean, how to do that. the last little piece I got to do is, I just finished the roof. I still got to put the trim, these two pieces of trim on. But yeah, I'm not really sure how to do this, how to make it kind of watertight. I'm still kind of trying to figure that out. I might end up putting something like a little bit of a flashing over here and caulking it. I'm not sure. Not sure how I'm going to do that. I'll figure it out. But yep, got the roof is done up here. I did a flashing on the side so the water will drip off, and I don't know if you're supposed to do this or not, but I did end up just putting some flashing on the top because I didn't want the water to drip and then start coming inside. And so if I did anything, it would have flashed, or it would have been getting inside. So let's move around here. We'll check it out. But yeah, it's going pretty good. Chickens are nice and big and healthy. Hey girls. I usually let them out during the day, but I'm not today. Let's see. So yeah, I got this all done. I ended up building, I don't know if I showed this or not, but just like a little automatic feeder. I need to put some more food in there for him, but got a water inside, and then on the bottom I keep water down there for him. And yeah, that's about it. All in all, pretty standard. Got a little roost up there. I don't think they don't really use that. I've got the nesting boxes closed off because they won't start laying for another 3 or 4 months. So yeah, that's it. So I think the grand total on this thing, price-wise, sorry, I think I have probably right around $500 into it. Everything was bought at Lowe's, you know, so I wasn't able to cut any corners, but it's all pressure treated on the outside, so you know, it should hold up for a while. But yeah, I think I probably have $500 into it. That's with everything, all the stuff. So that's it. All right. Well, hope you guys maybe got some sort of idea what to do with your chicken coop. All right. Thanks for watching.